Good morning. Welcome to the Circle of Alchemy Sisters. My name is Deidre. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Kristi Lynn. We just got finished with our morning meeting and we have some new energy coming through. We're going to bring forth the Sirian energy. I'll let Kristi explain what the Sirians are about. She's probably going to have a much different perspective as she is going to be channeling them. So I'll hand it over to Kristi and we'll get right on.
Okay, so first of all, I'm just gonna say right now, I'm nervous. I'm super nervous. I have no idea what I'm gonna say. I have no idea what to talk about at all. They didn't give me any sort of anything. I've never channeled them before, so I feel very nervous. I also feel like I could cry. I feel like the Sirian energy is very, very emotional. Very, very deep and emotional. So we channeled that you got an inkling that they wanted to come through a few episodes ago. We said that we were going to study. You said that you looked them up yesterday.
Yes.
So I looked them up this morning. I entered the information into ChatGPT and they sort of gave me a little bit of a download on what the energy is. We had our pre-morning meeting and said, come through. And we didn't even have really much of a conversation. We just started recording. So I have no idea what's going to happen. So I'm just going to start by bringing through the energy that I'm feeling, which is that very high frequency, high dimensional, and it's very deep emotional intelligence. Okay, very deep emotional intelligence. And they feel very calm. Like they feel, that saying like unfuckable with?
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels like them. And not in a scary, powerful way, but in a very deep, just emotionally intelligent way. Like they can't really be shaken because, what are you looking at?
It's okay.
Okay.
Something was moving out of the corner of my eye and I was just looked up.
So they feel like very emotionally stable, which is when you looked them up and ChatGPT looked them up, you said, Kristi, they're coming through for exactly what you're going through right now, right? Learning how to really get to the next level of that emotional intelligence. You know, I don't want to be stuck in the prison of being an emotionally traumatized, controlled human being. I want to move to the next level of really just taking everything in and allowing it to process through me and dealing with the emotions that it brings up and not being shooketh.
Right.
Right? And that's what the Sirian energy feels very much like, is like it's very deeply rooted in emotional intelligence. We know when we are feeling things, they're very powerful, very, very powerful, our emotions, right? And if we allow them to, they will control us, and they have been controlling us most of our lives, right? We feel something, we speak that thing, and we get into a fight with someone, we get into an argument with someone. We say all of these things. Again, we've been talking about this for a long time. They might be true, but they don't need to be said, right? And the Sirian energy is just staying very rooted and very deeply grounded into... You keep freaking me out.
Okay, so I know that you're deep in the channeling of what you're bringing forth with the Sirians. I'm sorry that I keep doing this, but that fairy house keeps moving up there.
That one's moving over there too.
So I know that the air is moving that, but that stopped moving for a little bit, and now it started up again. So I don't think it's the air. Do you feel airflow over there?
There's not even a vent.
No. So that thing was stopped, and then it moved, and then it stopped, and now it's moving. See? Now it's stopping.
I do see that.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Guys, we
It's
have
okay.
energy flow in here.
It's the orbs. It's so many orbs. She sent me a video last night of the orbs again, and it literally knocked the breath out of me. Like, it was nothing. All of a sudden, boom, this big orb that like morphed into. It was amazing.
It was amazing. I'm going to post it later.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm going to show her how to edit the video so you can see it right in the beginning. You don't have to wait. But, okay, so we're going on Sirian energy, deeply emotionally intelligent, how to really just be rooted in our own truth. Oh, that's what it is. Being, damn it, they're so emotionally intelligent that my body doesn't know how to handle the energy, so it's making me very emotional, you know? Jesus. Okay. So they're saying, like, the way to really be and learn how to be emotionally intelligent and not let anyone sort of shake you, right, is to really be rooted in your own truth, in your own authenticity, and knowing exactly who you are, not being worried. They're saying, like, is this person mad at me? Did I say something to offend this person? Should I say my truth? Did I speak too much? Did I not speak enough? Knowing to be like so fully rooted and authentic inside yourself that literally no one can shake you, right? And that's really hard, and that is something that all of us are really aspiring to do, right? It's to, who am I? What is my most authentic truth? And learning how to live in that and not letting anyone take your roots up, right? I am fully rooted and ingrained and standing in my most authentic sort of soil, right? My roots are just deeply woven into my own soil, right? And no one can shake me out of that, right? Because I'm just like I'm so truthful and honest and authentic and bare. No one can shake me because I know exactly who I am. And that's not something that any of us really, I mean, I'm sure there's a few people who have maybe mastered this, but it's coming from a very high dimensional sort of place. And Sirian energy is not one of, like, they're part of the New Earth crew, but they're like the late arrivers, right? Like the Pleiadians and the Lyrans, they're like the Pleiadians and the Lyrans are like here to teach us kindergarten lessons. They're teaching us how to just switch into a higher way of thinking, a higher way of knowing, a higher way of doing things. The Sirians are here to just, they're later, right? So they're here for the ones who are need a deeper push, right? Like, we've not mastered, but we're getting pretty good at fifth dimensional living. We know the difference between 3D and 5D. We know when we're living in 3D. We know when we're living in 5D. We know how to alchemize energy, right? This is the New Earth program that the Pleiadians and the Lyrans are bringing through. But the Sirians are here to just give that final sort of, like, now let's work on being absolutely rooted in our own soil, right? Our own soil. And they're showing me like a field. And they're showing me soil. And this field is growing in the soil that we have created for it, not growing in the soil that anyone else has created. Right? You don't want to grow your field. If you're a farmer, if you're a gardener, you're whatever, you want to make your own soil, right? You want to make sure that you know what's in the ground before you plant your crop there. So they're saying, we just want to come through and let you know to know what your soil is made of. Make your own soil, add your own ingredients, add your own fertilizer, and then grow your tree. Don't grow your crop. Don't grow your crop in someone else's soil.
Wow.
And how often is it that we actually are rooting ourselves in our own truth, in our own soil? Like from children, we're programmed to live in someone else's soil. Again, I bring through from birth. We are given a name, we're given a state, we're given a house, our parents tell us like what school we're going to go to, what college we're going to go to, what they want us to be, what religion to believe in, what God to believe in. That we are literally from birth rooted in someone else's soil. We're taught to go above and beyond for everyone, and we're taught to love unconditionally, but in that unconditional love, it's not really truth, right? The unconditional love that we've been taught and that we've been programmed is not truth. It's not unconditional love. Unconditional love is I love you no matter what your decisions are, no matter what your truth is, no matter what your authenticity is, no matter what you've done in the past, no matter what your plans are in the future. I unconditionally love you no matter what. But that is not what we've been rooted in. We've been rooted in I love you unconditionally, meaning I love you if you sort of go in the direction that I'm leading you into, right? And the Sirians are saying, no, unconditional love is the most authentic kind of love. It doesn't mean that you have to surround yourself with these people that you love unconditionally that make choices that you don't align with. But it means that unconditional love nothing can shake me because I actually am rooted in that unconditional love. No matter what, no matter who, no matter what the circumstances are, unconditional love is my basis. So nothing can really shake me because I know that when people make choices that don't align with me, I still love them. It's not a question of whether they're going to be, like whether I'm going to love them or not. It's the question of, do they align with my frequency? I'm grounded in this truth. I'm grounded in this authenticity. I'm making my roots in this very healthy soil. I love you, but your frequency is sending like electrical shocks into my soil system, and that's not for me, right? So unconditional love, authenticity needs to be rewired,
right?
All rewired. Because as humans, we've been programmed since forever, right? Forever. We were created under rulers. Like the beings that came to this earth and created us we never really got to be free. Ever. We never have been free. And now is the time, they're saying, for you to be free. You do not have to worship. You do not have to follow. Like, this is your time to be exactly who you are. And the more people that align with their really innermost truth, their deepest, darkest, beautiful, richest soil, and growing themselves from that soil, the more that this old earth kind of just trinkles away. Like we don't align with it, so it's not even part of us anymore, And they're saying we are bringing through the lessons that you've all learned before, right? We align perfectly with the Pleiadian energy, with the Lyran energy. We are just here to deepen the ones who have already learned that new earth technology. We know how to use the new earth technology. We know that if we speak it, it will come true. We know that we can manifest things. We know that the way we feel, the way we speak, the way we vibrate will create a beautiful outside life. And they're here to say, now, let's not be shaken anymore. Let's not be, let's make sure our root system is dug down deep into our soil that we have created with this new earth life and system and program that we are now operating under.
Beautiful. Do they have physical bodies?
No.
So they're light beings.
Light beings, absolutely.
What dimension?
8th, 9th.
8th, 9th. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Interesting. So
there is Sirius A and Sirius B, and those are two obviously different planets or stars. I don't know. Sirius A and Sirius B. So I feel like one dimension is higher than the other dimension.
Okay.
I don't know which is which.
Are they like the Arcturians where they can pick a suit?
That's really funny that you said Arcturians because I did look up this morning what to channel, who to channel about, and the Arcturians came through. So yes, they align with the Arcturians. They are light beings that, and I also see them as blue. Again, every entity extraterrestrial that we've brought through on our platform has aligned with the color blue. Except for the Lyrans, who bring forward the color of red royalty. But the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Blue Avians, all of those blue, 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 blue. So I feel like that really is what the new Earth frequency is aligned with, and that's the throat chakra, right? Yeah. And that is, oh God, so many of us need to really speak our truths, right? Speak our truths. We're holding so much in the way we feel, because this new Earth, if you're feeling the frequency of the new Earth, it's like the things that you've known, been taught, been ingrained, they don't align with the way that you feel inside. And that's scary. So a lot of us are still holding our personal truths in, even though we're not aligning with them anymore. We're not aligning with this old way of thinking anymore, but we're too scared and too shy to really speak the truth of how we really feel. I don't want my parents to be disappointed in me. I don't want my pastor to be mad at me. I don't want my grandparents to be ashamed of me. So even though I'm aligning with something that doesn't feel like my truth anymore, I'm just going to hold it in and I'm not going to speak my truth. And they're saying, how do you ever expect, they're saying like, you're a leader. You're a new Earth leader. You are all new Earth leaders. Anyone born after 1970. You are a new Earth leader. You knew that you were going to be here at the time of ascension. So if you are disconnecting with your old life, you do not feel aligned with the old ways anymore, and you're aligned with these new ways, you literally came here to do that. You came here to move forward. You came here to speak your truth. We, the leaders of the new Earth, once we align with our truth, our authenticity, and once we start speaking out loud, it's like we're the new leaders of the earth, right? We're the preachers, we're the teachers, we're the, we're the ones that are aligning with this new Earth energy. And if you're aligning with this new Earth energy and you want to drop all your other stuff, you're going to eventually have to speak your truth.
Absolutely. And it can be really uncomfortable.
Very.
So we've learned that.
Very.
So we're still dealing with that.
Still. Mm-hmm. Boundaries are something I think we talked about this morning. That's another thing that the extraterrestrials always bring through the forward movement of Earth, has a lot to do with energetic boundaries. You know, like they're bringing through again, like, how do you teach your children? You set these certain rules. Once they cross the rules, they break the rules, then they learn that there is a punishment, right? And they're saying, we don't feel that there should be punishments, but there is certain alignments, right? So you set this energetic boundary. And if someone you love who's very close to you is crossing those energetic boundaries over and over and over again, we have to really reconsider the alignment that we're in, you know, because that's what's good for us. That's what's healthy for us. It doesn't mean we don't love this person. It doesn't mean we can't have these people in our lives. It's just at this particular moment in time, we are not on the same frequency. It doesn't mean we can't align on the same frequency, but right now we are not on the same frequency. So whatever this boundary crossing is having to do in our life, we're going to have to set new rules. We're going to have to set new standards. So energetic boundaries are a big one, but you can't set energetic boundaries and not set word boundaries.
Right.
You know, people are not mind readers yet. I mean, telepathy is something that I feel like we have telepathy. I feel like we know what each other's thinking, what each other's gonna say. When I'm thinking something, you say it out loud. It's vice versa, right? We have telepathy. But when it comes to maybe our partners in life and we're not aligning with the same frequency, that telepathy is not there. So we have to speak it.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's a good example. I mean, if you're feeling like somebody says something and it makes you feel like it brings up negative emotions, like you feel a little bit uncomfortable, frustrated, maybe irritated with the person, that means that they crossed a boundary of yours that you did not make them aware of, because you're not speaking. So you get tense and you get frustrated and they notice a reaction in you. But if you're not telling them why that reaction is there, and then saying, I would really like for you to not do this again because it bothers me, it triggers me, and then I'm being triggered because you crossed a boundary. So if you're not explaining that to a person and you're just getting angry with them, they're going to keep doing it because they have no idea that there's a rule, there is a boundary that they should not cross. So that's anybody in your life. That's any situation. If you're just, hang around with friends and you're being triggered all the time and there's just things you're not aligning with anymore, you need to reevaluate your friendships.
Absolutely. And again, and it doesn't mean that these people can't be in your life. It means we're not on the same frequency right now. So you're not like a main player in my life, right? Like I have my main players, we're all on the same frequency-ish, right? We align with the same frequency. But the people who keep crossing my boundaries, it's obvious that we're not on the same frequency. So they're not like the main people in my life. They're on the like extended. They're extended. They're an octopus arm extended. We got the octopus body here. This is my frequency. These are all my friends. Sirian energy is also water, oceans.
Yes. I like how you bring out octopus. Exactly. But here's the key. If you're not telling these people that you have these boundaries, then you're just, you can't hold them responsible if you're not telling them.
You are not, no one is responsible for your feelings. You are completely 150% responsible for your own emotions. So if people are hurting you over and over and over again, you have to claim that responsibility and say, I didn't set my boundaries, or I set my boundaries and I allowed them to cross it over and over and over again. You are 150% responsible for your own emotions. It's up to you. You cannot expect someone else to come into your life and automatically know how to treat you, what your boundaries are. If you are a person who is on the healing journey and you are healing through your trauma and you are trying to live in that fifth dimensional energy, it is your responsibility to let people know, I have these boundaries. These are my boundaries. These seem to work best with me. And in the future, these boundaries might change. Once I get to a certain point of healing, my boundaries are going to change.
Absolutely. We're always changing. As we heal, boundaries change.
Boundaries change once. Yes, absolutely. And having people in your life who absolutely understand what those boundaries are and respect you for those boundaries and love you for those boundaries, those are the type of people you want to keep in your life. The people who keep crossing the boundaries, they have lessons to learn still, right? They gotta learn those lessons, right? And they don't need to practice on you anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quit practicing your life lessons on me. You know, like I don't want to take my trauma out on you. Whatever happened in my past, you're not responsible for. I'm responsible. But if people are taking out their past traumas on you, that's again another boundary you're going to have to set. Like, here's the thing. I've never been through this experience with you. I've never experienced this with you. I have never done the things that you are fearful of. Here's my boundaries. I will no longer allow you to treat me as if I am one of the people in your past. These are my boundaries. You have to treat me like the person that I am. These are my boundaries. And if you keep playing out your old, outdated trauma on this beautiful new fifth dimensional relationship, I'm going to eventually have to cut you out of my octopus body and put you on a tentacle, right? So, it's really hard because I've just been going through this recently. People that I love and have very beautiful affection for, obviously we're not on the same frequency. And in order for me to protect my soft body, right, I have to keep them on the outside so that they cannot affect me emotionally anymore. It's my responsibility. So yeah, deep emotional stability is something that we really need to take responsibility for. And they keep bringing up relationships over and over and over again. And it is romantic relationships that they bring forward because that's what everybody is on the search for. Like, everybody's on the hunt for the one. Everybody's on the hunt for that perfect relationship that completes me, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to make fun because obviously I'm on the search too. But they're saying there's a lot of changes that need to happen in current everyday relationships. Some people have been in relationships for a very long time, and those boundaries keep getting crossed over and over and over again. If you're living in the fifth dimension, but your partner is not there yet, you're going to have to set some really heavy boundaries, right? And disconnect from their third world, third earth, third dimensional behavior, right? Because if you are a leader of the new earth, if you are going towards living in the fifth dimension where there's we're peace, we're living in peace, harmony, happiness, togetherness. You are moving towards that life, that earth, but you have a partner in your life who's still living in that third dimension. Your energetic boundaries are going to have to be so strong and powerful in order for you to not allow them to affect you anymore. Because I'm telling you, the third dimension, you just being around someone who lives in the third dimension all day, every day, you're going to feel tired. You're going to feel anxious. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel like you want to cry. You're going to feel angry.
Dude, everything that you just described was exactly how I felt when I was working at a retail place in the town we live in. And it was completely third dimension. And all those things that you just described, how a person would feel, was literally how I felt going there.
Yeah.
And because I would cry in my car. I would have to brain fuck myself to get me to go into work.
Yes.
And it was hard. I was hard work every day, and it lasted 2 months. If I was living in a relationship or living with a person and being in a relationship with somebody that made me feel like that every day, dude, I would leave. I would pack up and leave.
You would have to.
Yes.
And again, it doesn't mean we don't love those people.
No, absolutely not. You can love somebody who's completely opposite from you, but love yourself more and do yourself a service by being responsible for your own well-being. You cannot live that way anymore. And I have lived that way for a very long time with my ex-husband. And I felt all those things. I was depressed all the time. I mean, I was even diagnosed with
mental disorder. Yeah.
And of course, things are situational, but once you get to that point, there's no recovery. It just doesn't go away. It affects you long term. It's a lot of healing that you have to go through to be able to maintain your emotions.
What we have to come to the realization of is, if you let's say you're just like a normal human and you come across this podcast. I don't know. If you are just a regular human being and you have no clue about the fifth dimension, you have to really just open yourself up to it. Open. You are, if you are third dimensional, you are closed down. You're closed down. You have this one certain belief or these couple certain beliefs. You hold a lot of animosity. You hold a lot of anger. You have a lot of anxiety. You have a lot of depression. You feel like a victim. Once you decide that you don't want that life anymore, it is a decision, right? And that's why a lot of people go to church. They're like, I need something to save me. I need some help. And it works right off the bat, right? People, you're feeling low, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling anxious, and they're called to go to church, and they're saying like, Jesus saved me. I was revived. Yes, because there is a beautiful healing energy that Jesus Christ brings forward, right? But you have to continue carrying that energy, right? There is a beautiful, powerful energy that exists up here. And once we connect to it, it's our responsibility to keep connecting with it, not return to this over here. Like it worked for a week and a half. That's why, okay, people go into, let's say you get in a fight. These are the cycles that happen. You get in a fight with your partner and you tell them, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. I need you to do this. I'm leaving. I don't want to be here anymore. And then the other person is like, no. I'll change, right? They're grabbing onto a new energy. They're looking towards the future. They're saying, I don't want to lose this person, so I'm going to change, right? They go into this fifth dimensional way of living, okay, for about a week and a half. And then the old ways start again. It takes commitment to being the very best version of yourself every single day. It's a job. You cannot expect fifth dimensional energy to just stick.
No, because it takes work on your part. It takes effort to try to change the things that you are doing in your life, the toxic behaviors, toxic patterns, the repeat of toxic cycles. If you do not change those things about yourself, this energy over here, this 5D energy, is going to go away.
Absolutely. And so much awareness. And that's like so hard. Being aware of all the toxic behaviors you have when your ego is like, you're not that bad. It's not that bad. You know, like we were talking yesterday about the person that I used to be, the person who I'm Kristi Lynn now, but Kristi back in the day was highly toxic, allowed herself to live through horrible, gross, yucky experiences, right? And it's not like I changed overnight. I didn't change overnight. I decided one day I can't live like this anymore. I am being destroyed. And it took so much awareness for me to be like, oh my God, you're such a mess. You're a hot mess. You're such a hot mess, right? And I didn't let it make me depressed. I let it make me transform into new. Whatever these patterns and cycles that I had, that I was repeating, that were keeping me stuck in this life, I have to be aware of. Egotistical, controlling, manipulative.
I love it when
be aware.
I love it when you channel, because you speak about these things, and then it makes me let's just call it, for the sake of the podcast, normal human.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so that's what happened. You know, because even like with me deciding that I didn't want to continue certain cycles anymore, and I noticed certain behaviors at certain times, I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. And I would change that behavior. And it was just like one behavior at a time that I would start being aware of. And so you don't have to change. Like, you're not just like diagnosing yourself and make a list of everything you want to change, and it just changes like that day. It's a process, and it takes every day. Once you heal this and you're aware of this, and you start working on this, and then you're aware of something else.
Yes. Take one at a time. Like, what's your biggest thing? Now, this takes awareness, okay? You can't just say, oh, my life sucks the way it is because this person did this to me and this person did this to me. Like, I've been teaching through the whole thing, like, you are responsible for your own reactions. Yes. Okay? So let's just wipe all that crap out. Like, yes, I have had some horrible experiences by some humans who have very unhealed behavior, but no longer am I blaming them for the way my life was. It was always my responsibility to say, this thing happened to me, but I am not going to allow it to affect me anymore. It is my responsibility. So I'm not talking out of my ass and just like butterflies and rainbows and saying nothing bad has ever happened to me. I've experienced all the bad things.
Yes. And the one thing that remains the same is we made the choice to stay.
Yeah.
We made the choice to stay. We made the choice to continue that cycle. The thing is that when you're aware that you are not happy in your life and you do not like how somebody's treating you, but yet you keep making the decision to stay in that environment, that is 100% your fault.
Yeah.
That's your
And not that it's a fault.
No,
it's
no.
a decision, and
It
you
is.
stay as long as you need to learn the lessons that you need to learn.
spiritual side of it.
Yes.
Yes.
There's no right or wrong decisions at all. Once you decide that you don't want to live that life anymore, you've learned those lessons, it's over, right? But you have to keep choosing this new life over here and not go back. And that's what I'm struggling with. My situation is, I guess I'm just going to be real again. I fell in love with a man 7 years ago, and I never thought I was going to be with anyone else ever again, right? But then in my spiritual awakening that I had, I came to the truth, found my most authentic self, realized that I love women, I'm a gay woman, right? That doesn't mean that I don't still love this person. I still love this person deeply. It's just that our frequencies are not aligning anymore, right? And what I'm learning now is he's still my friend. We still have a beautiful relationship. I still love him deeply. We've been separated physically for 6 months now, and he's coming to visit in a week. And I still love this person so much. But I need to know the difference between cycles that are repeating and unconditional love that's right, because there are some aspects of the relationship that we have that are unhealthy. And the cycles keep repeating over and over and over. But we also do have this beautiful, wonderful side of our relationship. So that's what I'm going through right now. I know that women are my future. I know that. But I also know that this man that I love, I would also like him to be part of my future, because this is unconditional love.
Right.
This is unconditional love. I can't betray someone because I realized something about myself. He did not do anything wrong. I discovered something about myself. Now, are there toxic aspects of our relationship? Absolutely. That keep repeating on a cycle. 100% absolutely. So it's my job to realize the difference between unconditional love and connection and repeated toxic cycles. I can still interact in this beautiful part of the relationship. I just cannot interact with the toxic parts of the relationship. So that's also what the Sirians bring through, is like knowing the difference. Like, this is deep and emotional and beautiful and wonderful. And why would you want to throw it away, right? But this is none of those things. So let's get rid of this, right? And it's my job to set these energetic boundaries so that I do not enter in to those toxic cycles anymore. It's all up to me. And that's very hard. Like, also, I guess I align with polyamory, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't honestly see my future without this very supportive in every single way. So supportive, human. I would never want to throw him away because I found my most authentic self, right? That's what anyone would want for anyone, is to find their most authentic, true self, right? So I'm not going to throw that relationship away. I love that relationship. Mm-hmm. I am going to not participate in the toxic cycles that keep happening. Now, if that means that he's not a part of my octopus body, but a tentacle, That's what it has to be, right? Until our frequencies align again. So that's just a personal example of what's going on, and and the ways that I have to be aware. Like, this is love, this is support, this is unconditioned, but these aspects are not that. So I can still love this person and participate in unconditional love with this person, but I'm not participating in the toxic sort of cycles that also exist within that relationship. And that means until those two things align, he's not part of my body, my soil. He's an extended part of my life until I can learn, or he can learn, or we can come together.
Absolutely. And I agree with that. I can see how that same scenario, that context would apply in my life with certain individuals. So yeah. I am for example, like, let's say ex relationships, like you exited a relationship, you learned what you needed to learn, and but you still have a lot of love for that person. And in society, a lot of people are like, you don't need to be friends with your exes. Why do you need to be friends with somebody who's no longer a part of your life? Well, he can still be a part of my life. I don't see a reason to discard somebody who has complete love and a lot of emotion for you, a lot of support, wants to see you happy. Why throw somebody who adds to your life away? There are exes that would take from my life, and they are not in my life.
Right.
But somebody who adds to my life,
yes.
I don't feel the reason or the need to throw them away.
And you could also... you love them and you participate in their beautiful, wonderful, healed side, but you're not participating in their unhealed, toxic side. Exactly.
And that's why we were talking a few podcasts ago how I could see things changing with him, that I'm like not interacting with him as much because of life decisions and things that he entertains in his life, that I just like, we're not vibrating on that level anymore. I still have complete love for him, and I know he has for me, but I don't talk to him as much anymore, just because
frequencies.
It is very much a frequency, but I didn't think about it like that until you started talking about this subject, which is why I love doing these podcasts. Get a completely different perspective and outlook on things. So yeah.
And that also means, again, in my personal life, what's going on, the divine woman that I'm going to vibrate into my frequency when I meet someone, I have to be raw and authentic and truthful from the beginning. This is who I am. This is what I align with. This is what I align with. And I'm not going to pretend to align with anything else. And that's how we go truthful and authentic, rooted in our own soil. I'm not embarrassed about my situation. I'm not insecure about my situation. I come through forward and say, my name's Kristi. I'm a psychic. I'm a channel. I'm a medium. I'm married to a man. I had an awakening. I align with women now. But it doesn't mean I have any less love for this person. And the person that's coming into my life, if you don't align with that, that's cool. That's okay, right? I'm not going to settle for anything that a goddess and a queen rooted in her soil. I don't care what society says. Society is programmed.
Right.
I'm a new earth leader. I'm living on an earth that doesn't exist yet. I'm trying to create a new earth. And in this new earth, I can have this beautiful, wonderful, supportive relationship, and also have this other beautiful, wonderful, supportive relationship. I don't care what society says. I'm not aligned with society.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, we have to stop going with what society thinks, because those are man-made rules. Man made those rules. God didn't.
No.
God doesn't have rules. Anything that I've learned is that every choice you make is a lesson that you need to learn. There are no right or wrong choices. There are only decisions and lessons that need to be made at that time. It's not a right or a wrong decision. It's an experience that you've gone through. So I am a new earth leader who brings forward the energy of fuck what society thinks. I don't care.
I love it.
I live my own life the way that I want to live my own life, the way that I feel suits me and vibrates with me. And to me, putting a lot of pressure on one person to fulfill you for the rest of your life doesn't align with me. Doesn't align with me. Where would you be without your tentacle of friends around you? Right? Where would you be without that? You cannot, like, if you were with one person, this one person, and you were not having any other fulfillments anywhere else, it would be a very unfulfilled life, I feel, you know? So, yeah, I don't know why they brought up, I don't know why they made me expose myself on camera, but they did. So that must be a lesson that everybody needs to hear, is that we're not anymore settling for what society thinks. Because unhealed man created these rules.
Absolutely. I was just thinking about that the other day. I was watching The Handmaid's Tale, and I'm like, oh, it is, men wanted literally to control and suppress women. Women are very strong. My daughter and I were talking the other day about how men cannot handle certain pains. Like when they get sick or they hurt, they're very vocal. They complain a lot. And women, well, we're almost masters at handling pain. And I'm like, really, we are the stronger of the species.
What?
Yes, we are the stronger of the species. We're mentally stronger. We're physically, like, in our body, like, we can handle a lot of pain. Now, strength-wise, they may be stronger in strength, but as far as everything else goes, we are the stronger of the species, and that's why men really wanted to suppress women, control them, and keep them down where they literally had no voice. And that's not a God thing; that is a man thing.
Yes, and I'm trigger. I do not want to talk bad about men.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No, this is not.
I do not want to shame men.
Yes.
I don't want to talk bad about men. This is all about energy. Very unhealed, toxic masculinity. That energy is what created these rules in society.
Yes.
The rules that we live by, just in the United States alone, like was created how many years ago by people who aligned with still slavery. Like, as society, we are programmed to live these very small, unhealed lives, right? With rules and regulations, and you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. And just personally, I say, fuck that, right? I obviously know that there are some rules and regulations that are here to keep us safe, right? But when it comes to freedom, authenticity, being who you really are, the rainbow flag, LGBTQIA plus, like all these people, polyamory, all these things that people are saying wrong, autism, neurodivergence, that there's something wrong with that it's never happened before. It's always been here. These people have always been here. These things have always been here. It's that we're programmed to think that they are wrong. They're not wrong. They're just different than anything that you've been programmed to believe in. And again, that's why I say, fuck that. Like, if a person is born on this earth and they came here to bring through a very specific energy, how could you not think that that was right? Like, their whole life, they have felt like they are this one person. What do we teach all the time? If you have a dream, it's there for a reason. If you have felt like this from when you were a child, you were meant to be that, right? Yeah. Okay, and now my mind is blank. So I guess that's what they wanted to say. There's a lot of discrimination going on right now. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of it's not, well, there still is racism, but it's not racism. It's judgment, I guess. Like, as a society, we need to let go of the programming that we have been receiving and allow this new energy to sort of take over, because this old energy that's been playing out for thousands of years is why we're here in this point that we're here, which is chaos and hate and greed and power struggles and discrimination, and like that got us here. We're here. Like, we've been living under your rules for so long, and this is where we are. Like, let's let the fifth dimensional leaders take over. Let's let the women take over. Let's let the LGBTQIA take over, because we've never had power. You've never let us have power. There's a reason that we're here in this unhealthy, toxic cycle as Earth, as humans, as society. It's because no one's stepping out of it. They're not allowing new things to come in and teach us and lead us. Everybody thinks that the old ways are better. This is how everything should be. It's all old. It's all old. It's old, and it's played out, and it's a cycle, and I don't want to be a part of it, so I am stepping out. And that's why I live so loud and proud about my lifestyle and what I do, because I don't want to be like that anymore. This is not my life. This is not my earth. I don't live here. Those are not my leaders. That's not my church. That's not my religion. That's not me. Mm-hmm. I believe in this, the divine information that I am being taught. That's what I believe in. That's what I go forward with. Man, I didn't know. The Sirians are intense. And I told you in the beginning, I didn't think that they would be channeling directly through me, but they would be telling me information to bring forward. And that's exactly what they've been doing. They also brought through the energy of light language. And I'm not comfortable doing that in public, so we'll keep talking and we'll see if they can convince me to do that. Do you have anything?
So when you're talking about that, all like the government and the religion and all the things that you don't align with or agree with, how that's not a part of your life, literally, I'm the same way. I'm just not as publicly opinionated about it. I don't tune into politics. To me, I live in my own world where I'm the leader of my world. And none of that outside stuff affects me. I don't let it affect me. I don't want to know about it. If something political comes on TV, like if my husband's watching the news in the morning, literally I'll mute it. I don't want to hear nothing about it, because that shit does not affect my life, and I don't want to hear about how the news spreads hate. I don't want to hear hate speech, regardless of right or wrong. In my world, I don't align with it, and I don't want to hear about it. Anything that makes me feel yucky, I don't like hearing about hate. Whether it's on social media or TV, I don't want to hear about it. Literally in my life, I am free of any kind of control. I abide by like the local laws. Like, I don't do anything that's going to get myself into trouble. But I don't tune in to rulers or control any form of it. Religion to me feels a lot like control. I don't want to hear about religion. I don't like the way people approach religion. I don't go shoving spirituality down people's throats. I let whoever wants to tune into us on their own free will.
Absolutely.
So I don't try to spread things or tell people things unless they are coming to me and asking about it. Other than that, I live in a free world, and that this is what I allow to influence me come in. Other than that, I don't tune into outside control.
Yeah, and that's beautiful, and that's what you're supposed to do. And there's so many different kinds of humans on this earth. Some of us are meant to carry that energy that you do. You're like, I'm just tuning out. Me, on the other hand, it fires me up, right? I'm a right fighter. I want everyone to have equal rights on this planet. I don't care if you're purple. You deserve to run for presidency if you feel like it, right? Like, I don't care. I don't care. As long as you're a good person, that's what I care about. I care about vibrations. I care about frequency. I care about love. I care about expansion. I care about compassion. I care about non-judgment. Like, these are the things that I care about and the things that I want to move forward with. But sometimes that does take a little bit of firing up. Right?
Yeah.
Getting fired up.
I see your point of view. And I do want what's justice for.
Yeah.
And I do want to see people find peace and happiness and living their most authentic lives, and justice for the unjust.
But that takes freedom.
But
Yeah.
But other than that, until I'm put in a situation where I have to stand up and be that warrior, be that leader, be that fighter, I tend to tune out of things that I cannot change.
Yeah.
So, like, me as a person, regardless
But we can change it with our thoughts, with our emotions,
well,
and our feelings.
we come here.
Yes.
We come here, and if I'm like spreading my love to the world, like whenever I meditate in the morning and I spread love to the world,
that's how you change it.
Yeah, that's what I do, and like I just send out love and light to every living being on this
and
planet.
that is how we change the frequency. And that is part of my growth that I need to focus on. Instead of getting so fired up and angry at people who are living in an unhealed vibration, I need to start praying for them, right? Sending them light, sending them love, sending them healing vibes, maybe throwing them in a jar in my freezer, doing anything I possibly can to send love and light to the world.
Yeah, but remembering that everybody has their own choice to live how they want to live, make the choices they have to make. I tend to not put all my energy into things that I, as an individual, cannot change. The only thing I can do is just send love and light and peace to people, and that's how I choose to heal.
Yes, that's beautiful. I probably need to take more lessons from you. Because there is this new commercial on YouTube. I'm like, I don't even want to be on YouTube anymore. Like, why is this here? Why do I have to look at it?
There's gonna be things that are gonna test us, but you know what? We still have to use certain platforms to get our messages out. We don't have to agree with what they represent, but if it allows us a way to speak to people and to give our viewers, the people that come to us, and thank you for the recent followers. So yes, every one of you count and matter. Thank you so much. But it gives us a way to bring our messages forth.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, so I loved bringing forth the Sirian energy. It was so wonderful. It was so beautiful. It's powerful, and it's right fighting, and it's authenticity, and it's freedom, and it's also not being shaken. Prepare your soil and grow your crop in your own soil, not in anyone else's soil. Remember, and then they're also bringing forward, like, remember you're an octopus, okay? Like, your close inner circle, make sure you're aligning with the same frequency. If you don't align with the same frequency, it doesn't mean you don't love them. It just means they move to the tentacles, right?
Octopuses are so magical.
They're aliens for sure.
It's literally, I'm so amazed and so fascinated with them, and it's like they're creepy looking, but they're so awesome.
They're so highly intelligent. They're definitely aliens. So I'm just going to see if there's anyone around that wants to channel through for the last few minutes. Yes, and we want to thank you for bringing our energy through. As we said before, we are sort of the next phase in human advancement. We are that deep emotional balance, inner authenticity, rooted in those deep, beautiful, authentic roots. So when you are ready for that, sort of emotion, and energy. We will be here to bring it through. Thank you so much for aligning with the energies of the Fifth Dimensional New Earth program. We are very privileged to be here. We would like to bring through some light codes and activations through this channel's voice to allow you to connect into your own soil and be your most authentic self. De kata wo shukata vani te kata haya sekatindia kata bo shukata de yala for you do is sekata ambake de vo shukoduya sembai he kitia kata to ho shukoduya sekatanta ayati ta ko shukoduya anda haya sekatia po shukoduya and kashkate vo gudushim babien gitiaka prionko to shutu sekatia sakanta ai sititi kushai. Peace, love, and blessings.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you how I felt.
Woo!
I got chills literally across my back and arms. I felt it up here. Heart and a little bit in my gut.
Mm-hmm. That was your first time experiencing light language, was it not?
Yeah. I'm still getting goosebumps on my back. It was emotional too. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why it affected my heart. It felt emotional. I don't know. Am I right?
Yeah. It was deep earth connection and emotion. I mean, that I've been wanting to cry all morning. Like, as soon as I knew that we were going to bring them through, I felt this very deep, emotional, it's deep.
It sounded very beautiful.
Thank you. I don't remember anything.
And
that's
beautiful.
My first time. I've done it on TikTok a few times, but it's really something deeply personal that I do at home alone. Like when my family's gone out of my house, I walk around and bless my house with light language. When I'm trying to protect my home, light language.
It sounded like you're speaking obviously a whole nother language, but like you sounded very fluent. You have nothing to be embarrassed about. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's weird. It's weird that it happens and it freaks a lot of people out. But I'm glad they convinced me to bring it through. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It had a lot of power and emotion in it.
Yeah. Closing my eyes and feeling it was what I needed, because I wanted to feel it and I wanted to be in tune with it. I wanted to really feel if I could feel the emotion, the vibration that you had told me that it brings forth. Because I mean, I've heard light language, but I'd not really ever listened to it, because I'm like, what are they saying? Like,
yeah, it's not words. It's emotion and it's frequency. I guess let's just explain what light language is a little bit. I guess Christians probably call it speaking in tongues. When I was a Christian and when I was going to church all the time, I was begging for light language for speaking in tongues. Yeah. I did it one time when I was a child. I was at church camp and I was at the altar and I was crying and I was singing and I passed out on the ground and I woke up and I was like, what just happened? And all my friends were like, you just spoke in tongues. And I was like, what? But as an adult, I remember begging for it because my grandma could speak in tongues. I remember being in church and hearing people speak in tongues and have someone over here translate. It was just like the most beautiful thing to me. And I just wanted to know that it was real. So when I was a Christian, I actually only spoke in tongues that one time when I was a child. But once I got into the spiritual realm of things, I started speaking in tongues almost immediately. So it's called light language in the spiritual realm, and it's just frequencies. Human words can't express all of the things that we need to express, right? So I brought forward the energy. You could feel the energy. You didn't need to hear the words. The words had nothing to do with it. It was the energy that I was bringing forward. I was just wanting
to know if I was really feeling where I was supposed to feel it. I don't know if everybody.
My back was very tingly.
Yes.
And the feeling in my heart and my solar plexus and that lump in my throat, the tingle in my nose, wanting to cry, very beautiful, powerful frequency. Yeah.
See,
I knew you would feel it.
Just want to make sure, because I went to my back. It was like a cooling. Then I got goosebumps, and then I could feel it. Just want to make sure that I was.
Yeah. I'm really excited you got to experience that. Maybe we can do it more often in our little private personal talks. So, yeah, I guess I don't have anything to bring through. Do you have anything else?
No, this was amazing. A great experience. Thank you for. It's amazing to know that I can get messages to help you.
Yeah, because you were the one that brought through the Sirians want to talk as a normal human.
So that's a lot of things are changing with me, and so it's good to get clarity and to know that it's not just me making up stuff, you know. So it was an awesome experience. I'm so proud to be a part of this journey with you.
Me too. I love it. Also, our event Saturday. I can't wait to let you guys know how it went. I'm really excited about the Cosmic Coven Company. Keep an eye out for the Cosmic Coven. We're going to be doing lots of exciting things. We are New Earth business, New Earth entrepreneurs. This is the way of the New Earth. So very excited.
Yes. Thank you so much for
tuning in.
Have a beautiful day. Bye.